hate you was stunting, doing nothing. I was hugging the trap, glass on the stove. I watch cane evolve in the crack. I get you the biz, the flow dogs, you can get the smoke. Deliver my bars the same way I deliver coke. Yeah, I'm from X-Town, they shooting here. They have to find your body, frogmen with the scuba gear. But listen here, the hounds go for long strolls and shit. With gloves on, they carry long poles, they grip. Act irregular, stunt, nigga, it's on you. They move with Trey Pound wig, the shades on too. But listen, the program different when it's beat. Hounds set up camp and wear fatigues in they sleep. Look, you in the hood all lax. Hounds will pull up on them Cannondales, vest with the strap. They get dirty, fuck all the fly talk. You see the long magazine, fam, take your shines off. I'm from that X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the mag rounds. Whoa, I'm from the X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the mag rounds. Whoa.
Welcome, one and all, to the wonderful first episode, episode 1. Yes, hand claps. Episode 1 of the podcast, Words with Fathers. Now, I know some of you might wonder, what is Words with Fathers? Words with Fathers is basically a platform where entrepreneurial men come to speak about parenting from the male perspective and how we can make it better. We will no longer speak about dwelling on the past because you can't fix nothing from there. So Words with Fathers is a platform where you will hear your fellow counterparts come and speak on male perspectives and also speak about how their entrepreneurial lives affect them being parents from the male perspective. I mean, women could chime in too, but you know, we definitely gonna kick it off with the male perspective, you know what I'm saying? So today I have some amazing guests with me. I am your host, Larry of Brooklyn North Bus, APP.com. I am a father of one, Baby Boy Brooklyn. Shouts out to Baby Boy Brooklyn and my co-host, G Finest. He's gonna introduce himself. And this episode, before he does that, is sponsored by 174. Succeed in integrity. Y'all like my voice, right? I got this little Barry White. G, the floor is yours. My brother, lean into the microphone. Pause.
Everybody knows me as G, but I'm G. Everybody knows me as G, but better, my original name is Gavin. Father of 4, 2 handsome boys, 2 beautiful girls. I am now a host of a podcast. I have a G-Spot Bud and Breakfast Airbnb that I host as well. I got a Up and Go car service, Up and Go rental. You can check me out. And I'm just trying to turn it up. We're just trying to take it to another level from there.
Well. Gee, that's beautiful, man. Congratulations. You got a lot going on, man. Make sure you save some of that moolah for moi. And our guest today is our first guest, man. This guy right here, I'm going to give a little bit of backstory before I introduce him. I want to say he's one of the selected few people, man, that's been around for a long time. He has been there when the barbecues. Man, I remember when we used to do the barbecues. I'll never forget Mel told me a story. I got to be mindful of how I tell these stories, too, because the statute of limitations.
Definitely
The statute of limitations might not be. But let's just say, man, he was there for some of the epic barbecues. Yeah. He was there when I first started the clothing brand. And when I built the app, he was still there, man. We even started doing brunches. And now, as I ventured off and I'm doing jewelry, he's also ventured off and has a great new establishment that he's going to tell you about. His name goes by Melly's World on Instagram, and his business is Brooklyn Residency. Can I get some hand claps for Melly's World?
Yes. I appreciate you, my brother, Melly, like you said, owner of Brooklyn Residency. I also have a nonprofit organization called A Few Great Men. I'm a city employee, and, you know, I'm just here. My brother Larry, my brother Gavin. We go back. I'm elated that they called me for the first episode. Fathers. Yes, thank you.
How many youths, my boy? How many youths?
Oh yeah,
I got
three. I got 3 boys. They all names start with L, and they all Tauruses. You could ask me how I did that. It's magic. It's magic. It's magic. They all Tauruses. I named them all. I named everybody kids. Don't ask me about your kids, 'cause I'm gonna name them. And it's gonna start with an L. So.
That's what's up, man. So let's get this show started. Let's really get into what we're here for. Like I said, man, this episode is basically about fathers and giving us a platform to basically speak on subject matters that you women might not at certain times hear us, because, again, it always leads to a back and forth. So we just here to kind of leave it someplace where we all could go back and discuss it at a later time while adding some humor to it. So the first thing on the docket is, have you guys read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yes.
Mel, what's your take on Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Lean forward a little bit just so.
So my take on the perspective of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Which one are you? Which one are you?
I'm both.
Most definitely.
I'm both, and
Most definitely.
this is part of my story. You know what I mean? So you get to see both perspectives. But I like the open up the dialogue and the conversation about that, because honestly, everybody I talk to has a different perspective on it. You know what I mean? So when I say I'm both, because I seen it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can relate to both sides of that coin. You know what I mean?
What about yourself, G?
I most definitely agree with Mel. I would say I'm both, seen both, and actually came from both sides of the coin. You know, didn't grow up with a silver spoon,
Right.
but, you know, kind of built myself to a level where, blissfully, I don't want my son to say he grew up with a silver spoon, but in the sense of he won't have to go through certain hardships, and certain challenges will be a little different from him.
Right.
Of course, he's going to have challenges, but, you know, at least it'll be different challenges than some of the ones that we kind of went through at a certain time.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, because I feel the same way, you know, especially at the times we're in. Times are absolutely changing, and just even the roles of what some of us are playing, you know, in our kids' lives. For example, being somebody that has, like, my son lives far away, right? He's not here with me, right? So my question to you guys, though it's like a podcast of, you know, putting it out there, like, I have questions for you guys as well that I would like to know, because my kid doesn't live with me. You know what I'm saying? So one of the topics that was out there that when I saw that I thought was interesting was when Tory Lanez brought his son to court with him. Now, my question to you guys is, do you think that was a good idea, bad idea? Seeing that you guys answered the last question first, I'm going to just put my input on it first, and then I'll let you guys take it from there. I personally think that it was a bad idea, you know, and the reason why I think it was a bad idea is because the probability of it going either way, or now that I can speak past tense, that it went that way, that's what I would think about even beforehand. And I do, now that I understand traumas and things like that, I do think that those moments will play back at a later time. And we live in a time where everything is recorded and it's social media. So I think that that image being there for the rest of his journey, I think that that was kind of not like a good taste that I would want to be left with as a dad. So that's just my personal take on it, you know what I mean? So whichever one of you guys want to take the subject.
Well, in certain cases, they would say you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. Because in one aspect, you don't want to force him into a world where so much is going on, but in another aspect, you don't want to keep him blinded to it either, because it's still going to affect him today, tomorrow, and every day. And I can't say whether he was wrong or right for making that decision. That's a decision personally, only he knows why he made that, you know?
Right.
From the outside, we can all have many perspectives on why he did that.
Right.
I can personally say I possibly wouldn't have.
Right.
And I have different reasons on why I would possibly say that.
What's one of them? You can just give us one, just for perspective. No right or wrong answers, just like I said, you know, just so we could get context. Because like I said, somebody else, like, I like these conversations because sometimes in these conversations I like speaking to both of you guys, because we do speak off air. And there's always something that you guys say that a lot of times it does alter the perspective. So I kind of want to transfer that same energy when somebody's listening to it. Like, so just like basically like expand.
Most definitely. And for instance, I would say I'm not thinking of just myself, because if I'm thinking of myself, I would say, nah, he's a man. I want him to know. I want him to be in the know. I want him to understand everything that's going on. But then thinking outside of myself, I'm thinking also about his mother. I'm thinking about other aspects. I'm thinking about also his personal perception on it. Because as much as you may say that you want him to see one thing, he may see something totally different.
Right.
So in the aspect of possibly if I had the choice not to, and I had somebody there that can care for him, guide for him comfortably and safely while I was there handling that, then I would go with that latter decision for myself.
Yes, because parents definitely was there. Yeah. What about you, Mel?
I think about it too. It's like a double-edged sword, right? I understand what the shock value that Tory was going for, right? But if you think about like the children, what we expose them to, you have to be mindful of what you expose your children to. It was two things that happened during that situation, right? It was Tory bringing his son, and then the father must have a young son, the young daughter, the girl that said, well, Rock Nation is responsible for the demise of my brother. She has no idea what she's talking about, right? She was like 8. Right. She took that information from what everybody was saying around them, right? But what Tory was trying to do actually failed, because I can give you a scenario, right? If you take out Tory Lanez and you put DJ Khaled in that same situation, if Khaled brung his son to that court date, would anybody question that?
No.
Why not? Because he always was around his son. There's people that's only seeing Tory's son for the first time. Right. I've been following Tory forever. Right. I've started seeing that boy like 2 times.
Right.
But if DJ Khaled brung his son to court, nobody would question it. Because he's always with his son. He always has his son in the light, right? Right. So, but Tory, you brung your son now. We're like, yo, hold up. Well, you going with him on the piggyback ride. But if Khaled would have brung his and headed, nobody would ever question it, because he's always with his side.
Yo, it's funny you say that. That's excellent, because you just made my first episode so smooth to smooth into the next transition, which is us bringing our kids to work with us, whether it's to an entrepreneurial job or your day job, because we all here bounce around in different aspects. Is that something that you guys are? What do you rather? Which one do you prefer at this stage where you at now? Because we both know what it's like to work from both perspectives. So if you could expose your kid, obviously you could give him both and he's seeing both, but knowing the tools that you know now, which one would you go with first if you could only pick one?
What, bringing your kid to work, or?
Like which I guess what I'm trying to say is, which angle would you push to them? Because growing up, my parents pushed to me, get a job. But now that as a grown-up, the times that we in, it's more of like an entrepreneurial space. At least that's what it seems like to me right now. So which narrative would you place on your kid for
I'll
lack
go
of better
first with that. You know, it's funny because you say we can't really, you just want to show them, right? Because, you know, like I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm also a city worker, right? So, you know, my perspective is, you know, you be an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, but a lot of people are not mentally ready for the entrepreneur lifestyle. And when I say that, it's because you could be an entrepreneur, but your every dollar comes from your hustle. Right. So if you're lazy, you're motivated, you don't have it, then what are you gonna do? So what the entrepreneurs sometimes don't think about is like 30 years from now, what I'm gonna be doing. I'm not gonna be doing podcasts when I'm 65 years old. Nope. I'm not gonna be, doing this when I'm 65 years old. So a lot of the times, having a certain foundation. See, I have a city job, I have a pension, and I have my entrepreneur stuff. If my restaurant closes tomorrow, I can still fall back on my job. Yes. So at the end of the day, my son is just gonna take on whatever he wants because he's supposed to be better than me, right? So if he sees that, my 9 to 5 told me to get the COVID shot, and I said I ain't want it, and they told me, yo, don't come back tomorrow. So my son's seen that, so he'll probably say, you know what, I ain't working school safety or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what they would try to do with us, with transit employees. They tried to make us get the jab. A lot of the transit employees, they bunked out because this is their job, right? Right. This is their job. You are going to walk this line or you could leave. You gotta walk the road. Now my son is like, I don't want to work there. Or me being an entrepreneur, I could start up a company and he could watch it fold and we could lose the house and all that stuff. He's like, yo, I'm getting me a job. It's all about showing them perspective. Just be better than me. All I ask them is to be better than me. Right. You can have both, you can have one, you can have none, but the opportunities for you are there because you saw me do it. And that's the good thing about having this conversation about fathers. Yes. They're always watching.
I know
the
that's
kids
right.
always watching.
That was great, Mal. Damn, Mal, you kind of smoked that episode.
Yeah.
That session by hand.
That's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, it's it because you can't. You have to just show them.
Right. You
and
can't
then let
really,
them make their own. You know what I mean? Like I said, to get older. You know, son's older, right?
Right.
So everything he do, he's watching.
He's watching them. Yeah.
He might not even say nothing. He might not have a conversation. He might say something. You're like, yeah, you was watching that.
Yeah.
Because you know you always see your kids and they say things. You be like, I know you picked that up. They pick up everything, but you show them and you try to just give them little gems, but you gotta let them go off on their own. So I can't tell you what to do.
That's right. Mel going to overtime.
Yeah, that's
definitely,
it.
Most definitely. We have to. We got to.
G, what do you wanna add to that, G?
I love what Mel said, and I'm very tactical now that my eldest child is 17. So I'm very tactical in my approach because I don't want to scare him. You know what I mean? At the same time, I want to introduce him to the entrepreneurial lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I pick and choose certain times that I tell him to come to work with me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of selecting the things that I want
that you
him to
expose
see.
them to. Yeah.
By doing that, I'm not kind of guiding him towards doing one or another.
Right.
I'm just allowing him to see both perspectives because everybody know everything come with work and everything is hard. His mom, she has a great job, she's a career woman, so he has that in the home all the time. He has two perspectives. As far as me, I have different business angles that I'm into, different investments. I'm always on the grind.
Can we get a hand claps for investments, please? Hand claps for investments. Gotta get the investments.
No, definitely. So from that perspective, I select when I invite him to work. So I kind of gauge what he sees.
Yeah.
And then from that, I then invite him again. So he knows the hard. And I'm talking about him about the hard all the time. That's what everybody hear. You hearing the hardship. But hardship alone on either side can scare them. We're not trying to scare them. We're just trying to expose them to options.
Right.
Different tools.
The options.
Yeah.
So, y'all
The
smoking
options.
this segment.
You gotta have options, man. You gotta have options. A 17-year-old. I just want to touch having a 17-year-old in this day and age scares most fathers. You know what I mean? Because that's the age that they start to, you know, like he said, just you got to be tactical what you expose them to. Yeah, 14 is
Yo, y'all are doing so good, Mel. It's like you right now. It's like LeBron James, but it's Dwayne Wade's team. Like
Yeah,
you
it's like
hitting
Dwayne,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like, so with
Yo,
that
who
being
you want to
said,
be? Who you want to be?
I'll take D Wade.
Yo, give it up for the backseat, man. Give it up for Larry taking the backseat, man. Yeah.
So with that being said, like I said, you're doing so good. It leads into the next question. Do you feel that the kids nowadays, now this is not just our kids. We're going to give our kids a little break for a little bit. Kids in general, this times, do you feel that they have too much freedom? Let me say this. I agree. I think they do because there'd be a lot of SMDs on the timeline and social medias. That's like the go-to thing now. And I say this, when we was growing up, that was like the golden thing that you do not do.
Yeah.
So to kind of just turn my phone on and to just kind of see like everybody just kind of upping it in that manner is very interesting. So I personally think that somewhere along the lines, some parenting skills definitely got lost because I don't think you should be on social platforms because, again, the world is very small, and as you get older, you realize that a lot of rooms you was in, you're starting to end up back in them all over again. Yeah. So you got to be very mindful, but that's my take on it. G, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I'm past that one on to Mel.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think that
G with the no-look pass?
Yeah, with the pass back, you know what it is? You know,
no look.
So when you think about like the kids nowadays and everything that they're exposed to, I feel like having like a strong foundation behind you is different. Like you see the kids, like they might get into something, right? They talking all this stuff, they get into something, then you see, oh, they go to jail, they scared, they come home, they telling, they stitching because they're really not built like that yet. So if you think about like where we come from, because we all from the same area, we actually from the same block. So things that you said you couldn't do back in the day that they're getting away with, like the disrespect. We had the OGs, they ran the block.
Yeah, it seems like there's no more. It seems like there's no more OGs though.
There are, and that's our fault though. At the same time, but these kids are so far gone that you can't even reel them back in. You know what I mean? Everybody got to learn. You got to get knocked on your head actually
a couple of times
to
really
actually figure it out. Nobody's looking like, oh man, this dude did this, and look what happened to him, and they'll still end up doing it. We could go back to the situation with Tory Lanez, right?
Yeah.
How many times have we seen this? Right?
Yeah, it's played.
We got now. Look at Young Thug, right? And I can guarantee you, this is not the last rapper we seen that's about to go to jail for like 20, 30 years. Right. How are we still doing this? Because people are not learning. They are not learning.
There will be more Ricos on the way.
There will be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
it's going.
So anybody
down.
else will sit back. But that's the same thing with the kids. They'll sit back and be like, damn, he got smoked. He was only 16 years old.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
And then they'll go around, do the same thing, and then they'll get smoked 17 years old. A lot of these kids are not learning. We're not learning from our mistakes, and we're not sharing the information. And they're not taking it on. They're learning the hard way.
But do you think that it's mainly because of social media? Like I watch a lot of platforms, and I see that's the like common recurrent thing that they keep saying that it's because of social media. I personally don't think that, because I think when you put your phone down, you still got to live in real time.
There you go, right there. And that's kind of why I pass it off to Lamel, because that gets personal, right? Because you can actually be there every day, showing them the best way,
right,
to avoid everything that they need to avoid. Yet they still have to be faced with everything that you try to teach them to avoid. They still have to go through it, and then in the process of going through it, their choices are still ultimately up to them. Then society plays a part, whether it's social media, whether it's this or that. Everything is like a bigger influence to them. So they're not thinking for themselves.
Yeah, they're not. They have all these opportunities, but even the social media, like I tried to hire my son. He was originally supposed to manage the TikTok for the Brooklyn residency, so I got him the whole username and everything.
Wait, Mel, that subject is too. That subject matter. Don't hold on.
No, we're not going too far on it. We're not going too far on it.
We got to take a break. We got to take an intermission because the producer said that we got. In 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man,
so we got time.
Yeah, this
exactly.
Is the first episode 1. Yeah,
we could work out the kinks. Work out the kinks. So like you said, we're not even talking about like the social media influencer, like trying to show them something. I had him running like my TikTok, and then like somehow I guess his mother seen him looking at a video how to make fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? On TikTok. So she 86'd him, and he got fired from running the account. Wow. So I'm just sitting up here like G said, yo, you ever see these kids get into something and these mothers, they have no idea what their kid was doing.
Right. Like,
you can't tell a mother that. She's like, not my son. Nah, miss, your son was out here wilding.
I'm glad.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
coming from good homes.
I'm glad you said your son was doing that, because, again, Mal, you like Robert Horry right now. So with that being said, it's like, wow. I'm nervous right now. What age communication? Yeah, what's a good age to introduce your kid to hip hop? The reason why I asked that is because that fentanyl stuff is all through the music, and I know that your kids listen to music because I follow your Instagram. So don't get on here and cap.
Yeah, that's gospel. Kirk Franklin.
Yes. What's a good age do you feel is a good age to introduce your kids to hip hop? Yeah. Because, like you said, your kid is up there. Whether we don't know how Melly got. Is it Melly? Was it Melly that was doing that?
It's both of them.
It's both of them? They together. I saw them blickies twirling together.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So what do you think is a good age to introduce your kids to hip hop?
So, to me, like, there's really no age, because you remember I said I'm a father of 3, right? So my 2 boys are older. They listen to whatever they want to, the TikToks, the songs, the dances, everything. My son been dancing. He's a dancer, right? Mm-hmm. My baby is not even 2 years old. He in the back of the car, like, riding with my twin and them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's not even 2 years old. Right. So
now riding with my twin.
Riding with my twin and them. I'm looking back and like, yo, what? Like, and he's not 2 years. My son's not 2 years old, and he can talk. He raps songs.
Yo,
so there's no age. It's like it's always gonna go back to
his 2 brothers in the car now.
It's always gonna go back to, like, just like you said, like G said, it's tactical. You have to be watching your kid, and you have to know when to intervene and say something. Like, they could do whatever they want, and then when you see them you gotta be like, yo, but
right,
this is what you're supposed to be doing.
That's what I mean? I appreciate y'all schooling me too. So let me say this to the listeners too. I don't want y'all to think that I'm asking like silly questions. So my kid, I am a father of 1, and my kid does not live with me. He's in Orlando, so the perspectives are greatly appreciated. And with that being said, we're going to take our first break with Words with Fathers, man. So far, I think we're doing great. I think y'all doing good, man. Yeah. Y'all both shooting high percentages. We going on break. Shouts out to the cameraman. Shouts by Ty. Shouts out to our sponsor, 174, and shouts out to our studio,
Definitely Brooklyn
Street
Residency.
Media, and shouts out to Brooklyn Residency for some amazing drinks, wings, and all that good stuff, y'all. Words with Fathers. We out.
They blaming 40, squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn. 40 cal extendos, beams glowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn. When it come to the biz, I don't play around. I'm nothing nice. Boots on the ground, you know the hustle type. Hold my own fortress, dogs, I'm all biz. The element I come from is different than yours is. Jungle's where I come from, they like to spray the heat off. Razor in the gum, spit it out and blow your cheek off. Yeah, you know the grind get grisly. 24-hour state of mind, thug theory, yeah. You can't fuck with the stock, homie. You could get washed up and smoke like a top roller. Used to grip the pole, yeah, catch your dubs with the black rain suit, with the laces in the mud. Goons get to working when the sky darken up. Catch you slipping off the square, parallel park you up. All mouth niggas, cloud chasing niggas. Been moving through these jails since the Bronx house, nigga. They blaming 40 cal extendos, beams glowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn. 40 cal extendos, beams glowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn.
I say 40 cal extendo, beam glowing red. Push the shell through his head, we make sure he dead. All these niggas fugazi, we the thoroughbreds. And I cry every day when Big died, the whole borough bled. Go and get whoever, them niggas ain't never been a threat. Everybody die if you touch me, your mother ain't accept. Bad seed, free God shit, nigga, it's plain and simple. Fucking with us, I can promise a lot of pain and lips. Aiming chips, monkey around, I give you brain and glimpse. Everybody standing nearby, they shoulda came with imps. Same attempts, them niggas caught, we spun and flamed the shit. Finish off the job y'all had, you niggas lame as shit. 6 man, lean a nigga like a kickstand. Shit blams and jam, beat it with it and switch hands. Me and Wild Kingdom connect, me we wildin'. I stay fly like I'm a pilot.
They blaming 40 cal extendos, beams glowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn. 40 cal extendos, beams glowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love the stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer drawn.
You don't let nobody touch your camera.
Yeah. It's free law, man. We out here, man. Listen, man. The pimp shooters and dealers is on the set. Smoking dick, missiles fly, that's cause and effect. Corner vibe, cocaine traffic, the hitters. D-boys, paramedics, bags with the zipper. Stuntin', homie, you can catch beef quick. You know the vibes in town, homie, them streets lit. You feel me? I went from juxes to crack sales. Kept the long hammer on me, dogs like the track rails. You feel me? I kept the fire, that raw mean. Arm strong, I spin it all down like them Kenmore machines. You frontin' niggas think you hot like you Hove. I'm in the field, boots laced up, the pot is on the stove. Talking all crazy, you crew deep, kill that. Niggas get the squeezing on you, homie, you won't peel back. Fam, you really do this, the field is ruthless. They jumping out of hoopties and they shooting. Yeah, think you with the corner vibes? Opposites is bang, is you down the ride? Yeah, is you with the stalking? Big long rail, yeah, I hear you talking. Yeah, you think you with the corner vibes? Opposites is bang, is you down the ride? Yeah, is you with the stalking? Big long rail, yeah, I hear you talking. Pockets getting tight fat, for real, I'm talking nice racks. Flexing with them jewels around your neck, and they don't like that. You see it in their eyes, it's something different. They will get it rocking and shaking like Chevys with the switches in it. Screaming, I will ride for my bro, but you won't. Said you had them burners on deck, but you don't. For real, you wasn't shaking in the hood. Stomach on the gate, creeping with the wolves, Yeah, you think you with the corner vibes? Opposites is bang, is you down the ride? Yeah, is you with the stalking? Big long rail, yeah, I hear you talking. Yeah, you think you with the corner vibes? Opposites is bang, is you down the ride? Yeah, is you with the stalking? Big long rail, yeah, I hear you talking. It's that heat. You was stunting, doing nothing. I was hugging the trap, glass on the stove. I watch Kane evolve in the crack. I get you the biz, the flow dogs, you can get the smoke. Deliver my bars the same way I deliver coke. Yeah, I'm from X-Town, they shooting here. They have to find your body, frogmen with the scuba gear. But listen here, the hounds go for long strolls and shit. With gloves on, they carry long poles, they grip. Acting regular, stunt nigga, it's on you. They move with Trey Pound wig and shades on too. But listen, the program different when it's beat. Hounds set up camp and wear fatigues and they sleep. Look, you in the hood all lax. Hounds will pull up on them Cannondales, vest with the strap. They get dirty, fuck all the fly talk. You see the long magazine, fam, take your shines off. I'm from that X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the Mac rounds. Whoa, I'm from the X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the Mac rounds. Whoa, I do this relentlessly. My flow smooth like Cap Kirk, Mac in his leather seats. Feel me? I really do this, homie. I keep the work shaking in the pot. Angela Jolie, I'm OD. Y'all niggas average with this shit. See my wrist shake. For real, I'm fantastic with the whip. In the land of the have-nots, I bubbled in black blocks on the dark side. Sitting on the crates with them black tops. I'm where apes dwell. Watch them dumb out. 44 mag hammer slam, them rockets come out. Yeah, you getting down with. You ain't felt no pain there. Big shootout storms, the Thames with the rain gear. I'm in the hood, that's just bottom line. Like shots of Henny, phone cups and Moscato wine. But look, they run down on it, put the pound on it. Give them promise, fam, they remove your crown for you. I'm from that X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the Mac rounds. Whoa, I'm from the X-Town. They moving all crazy with the mask down. Whoa, that's how they get down. Violating blocks with the Mac rounds. Whoa, whoa. Blaming 40 cal extendos, beams blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds, do it low for bread. Y'all love to stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when that hammer's on. 40 cal extendos, beams blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds, do it low for bread. Y'all love to stunt with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when that hammer drawn. When it come to the biz, I don't play around, I'm nothing nice. boots on the ground, you know the hustler type. Hold my own fortress, dogs, I'm all biz. The element I come from is different than yours is. Jungle's where I come from, they like to spray the heat off. Razor in the gum, spit it out and blow your cheek off. Yeah, you know the grind get grizzly. 24-hour state of mind, thug theory, yeah. You can't fuck with the stock, homie. You could get washed up and smoke like a top roller. Used to grip the pole, yeah, catch your dubs with the black rain suit, with the laces in the mud. Goons get to working when the sky darken up. Catch you slipping off the square, parallel park you up. All mouth niggas, cloud chasing niggas. Been moving through these jails since the Bronx house, nigga. They blaming 40 cal extendos, beans blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Woo! Y'all love to stun with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer's on. They blaming 40 cal extendos, beans blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Woo! Y'all love to stun with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer's on.
I say 40 cal extendo, beam glowing red. Push the shell through his head, we make sure he dead. All these niggas fugazi, we the thoroughbreds. And I cry every day when Big died, the whole borough bled. Go and get whoever, them niggas ain't never been a threat. Everybody die if you touch me, your mother ain't accept. Bad seed, free guard shit, nigga, it's plain and simple. Fucking with us, I can promise a lot of pain and lips. Aim at chips, monkey around, I give you brain and clips. Everybody standing nearby, they shoulda came with imps. Same attempts, them niggas caught, we spun the flame and shit. Finish off the job y'all had, you niggas lame as shit. 6 man, lean a nigga like a kickstand. Shit blams, it jam, beat it with it, it's switch hands. Me and Wild Kingdom connect, me we wildin'. I stay fly like I'm a pilot.
They blaming 40 cal extendos, beans blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Woo! Y'all love to stun with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer's on. 40 cal extendos, beans blowing red. Squeezing 38 rounds through a loaf of bread. Y'all love to stun with cameras on. It's really live, missiles fly when the hammer's on. For a fact, it's lit up in the crime zone. The homies on set, they barely moving on their time, no. You know, we in a whole nother zip code. Dealers talk, homies, stacks with the flip phones. And do the big, get back on when I get home. Yeah, that's the dealer talk. Dealer talk. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of so-called dealers never put in work, never popped a pill before, know so much about the perks. You ain't never been around them type of thugs that'll shake loose, turn around, growl and bite the plug. I was on that other shit, jukes and niggas dubbing shit. Switched the lane to coke, learned to spin, started hugging strips. I was posted in them spots, shit was awfully hot. Used to watch my man D spin them O's in coffee pots. Power moving in my lane on all channels. 85 South, Mazda van, speeding, working door panel. Money on the road, I would slide quick. Wake up flows out of town, homie, on dry strips. You know how them clowns be, I keep them dudes from round me. I stay at my bag, boy, my wrist is known profoundly. Stomach on the gate, going broke, nah damn that. It's the Greyhound, Peter Pan, dogs of the Amtrak. I'm out of here, man. It's lit up in the crime zone. The homies on set, they barely moving on their time, no. You know, we in a whole nother zip code. Dealers talk, homies, stacks with the flip phones. And do the big, get back on when I get home. Yeah, that's the dealer talk. Dealer talk, make the arm blow up. My arm glow like show enough. I generate the flows, bring them stacks you can't fold up. I've been on my grind moving dogs. I've been with this shit. Around the plug with mounds of coke, I watch them press up the bricks. Listen, my life is different than yours. Around here, we wear the pipes just to go to the store. If you're blowing cake, then you know the hate. Have your hatchet ready for these spineless cowards snakes. Listen, fuck the haters, fam, I'm going heavy. I got the stick in the broom closet, the rockets in them ready. Look, moving since way back. Homie, where you ate at? With zip code, borough, state, where you played at? Fam, I got it dirty. I move and shake, you heard me on my square, fam. Eyes wide open, Mr. Furley. You playing clean, this ain't a fair game.
My hand claps, man. Yes, and we are back. Episode 1 of the podcast, Words with Fathers. So far, man, my guest right now is Melly's World. He about 6 for 6 right now. From the free throw. We just got to get him to finish up the game strong. My co-host, G Finest. G, how you feeling? How your vitals? How your vibrations?
Blessed, I'm alive as well. Blessed, alive, and well, King.
That's what's up, man. So y'all my brothers, and a lot of times when I go through like my personal stuff, I always know that I can reach out to y'all, and y'all always give me good advice. So there's no podcast, good podcast, but just a little bit of spice. So y'all being my brothers, and y'all know my situation, right? Y'all know I got a kid out of town. What's some of the best advice that y'all could give me as a father for me when I miss my baby at nighttime?
The communication is the key. Being always open. Nowadays you can talk. The communication is actually the key. Like nowadays you have so many outlets to actually speak, to your child and see and things like that. One of my sons, I have joint custody of, so I'm 50 in, 50 out, 75.
I didn't know it was joint custody. We never got to the
legalities
of it and things.
It's joint. Me and my it's joint. Yeah,
hand claps.
Yeah, that's exactly. But we came a long way from that, but we always had a relationship understanding.
That's what's up, man.
Especially with the mother. You got a good relationship established with that. So it's the same way. It's just the distance is just a little greater. You know what I mean? So
right. So you saying real niggas relate?
Most anybody that's not with their child's mother, any man will relate to that because there's no 100% unless you're there. You know what I mean? Unless you're living with them. So anybody. G, me, you,
right.
We're all in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? So you might think you're not. You might think you're in the boat by yourself, but we all in the same boat. It's just the timing and the challenges is different. Like your challenge might be different from mine. G challenges might be different from mine. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
Just the communication and understanding and being there, especially being there all the time. You know what I mean?
G, what about you?
Come heavy on the communication. Communication is probably the strongest point. Blessedly, we're in a time where we can communicate. We can communicate well without actually being present. And so, always reach out through phone, definitely through video call.
Yeah, voice notes, videos. That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all brothers giving me that advice, man. So my next question for y'all would be this, and it don't have to be, like I said, directly about your kid. If your kid is a reference point, like you want to use them as a reference point, that's fine too. But how do you feel about passing down, because we all grew up on hip-hop culture here. How do you feel about passing down of hip-hop culture to your kids, meaning like the no snitching policies, well, that's one of the major things right now, man. Like I said, because growing up, one of our, again, rules, guidelines, get stitches, don't be a snitch. But then nowadays, it almost seems like, to me, that all of our favorite artists that our kids are listening to, and I'm going to do what they do on every podcast, allegedly, are snitches. So is that a conversation that you guys have with your kids about the culture of hip hop when they listening to it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a morale thing too, man. That's where it starts at. You gotta have morale. You gotta teach them, certain rules and lifestyle things. Everybody gonna do whatever they want to do anyway, though. You know what I mean? So if you shouldn't be in these predicaments anyway. You tell somebody don't get into something that you really won't be able to get out of. So you got the Bobby Smurda perspective.
Right.
And then you got people like they're saying like Gunna, he just got out, but then it's like everybody is like, yo, it's like
that's a fact though.
It's a fact. It's like, yo, Bobby said, all right, y'all want to give me 2, then we give my man 10.
Yo,
we can split it.
Closing the game.
Gunna say, yo, Thug, I'm out. Thug say, yo, I'm out. But like I said, it's all about morale. It's all about what it is. You never know what somebody's gonna do when they get into a situation. Right. You know what I mean? So if we're doing the right thing, your kids shouldn't even be in that situation. Right. But again, they're gonna take on their own life.
But
you know what I mean?
but music does influence. Is there a particular artist that you had to tell your kid to, hey, I don't think you should listen to?
Not really. Like, my sons was really big into like a lot of that Juice WRLD stuff and things like that. So the kids, the people that my kids listen to are drug addicts.
What about Tacion? They listen to Tacion?
My kids listen to are drug addicts, right? Yeah. So they talk about is lean. You see how Juice. No, for real.
No, that's
my son's favorite artists are straight drug addicts. You know what I mean? And that's what they talk about.
That raw wave make you cry,
and these kids, they might want to try some lean. They might want to try some stuff, but I grew up as a kid. I was listening to certain stuff. I didn't have to do that either, though. You know what I mean? I always did what I wanted to do, right? So I know there's an outlet. I don't have to, give me that, snatch my son headphones off and be like, yo, you listening to this?
So with that said, what was y'all first hip hop album that y'all purchased? Y'all remember that? It's the first hip hop album you purchased.
Shit, coming up, we wasn't purchasing shit like that, to be honest with you.
I was about to say that. I had a lot of bootleg. I probably bought 3 albums in my whole life. It's like, I think the Black Album was the first album that I ever bought. You know what I mean? From bootleg, man. Like, they didn't buy none of that shit. You know what I mean? The vinyl.
Totally honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But again, just the music was there, though.
G's kids, Lamel's kids, man, make sure y'all pay for music.
Yeah, LimeWire, tearing the whole family computer down, bro. The family computer's in shambles because you downloaded a bunch of garbage. For real, man.
So, G, you got daughters, right? The question I have that, like I said, I'm a dad, but I have a son, right? The question I have about for a father that has daughters is, what's a good age to introduce them to, like, okay, I'm lying. This is what I really want to talk about. Let me go off course a little bit.
Right.
So right now, there's this thing where, do you feel that kids are doing too much? And again, it don't have to be your kid per se. Like, for example, I saw Coco's daughter twerking, and that was like a big thing. That was an issue. You know what I'm saying? What's an appropriate age now with social media being so prevalent, with all of the, for lack of better words, fuck shit? We could curse on this podcast? With all this fuck shit going on, like, what do you think is a good age? Because when we was growing up, our parents, like my mom's, for example, I couldn't get my ears pierced till I was 18, couldn't get a tattoo till I was 18. Now some of these young kids is like 7 with teardrops and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm mad y'all laughing. Nobody denied it.
No, the parenting is definitely, there are some bad parents out there. You know what I mean? There are some bad parents. Some people don't put stipulations on their children. Like you said, the same thing with me. I couldn't get a tattoo till I was 18. I think I got it I was like 17 and a half. I was like, I couldn't wait. You know what I mean? But like as kids, we had more fear instilled from us, our parents, than they have now. Like, we feared our parents.
Right.
And we respected our parents too. Most at the definitely. Same time. Nowadays, these kids, they curse their parents out.
Right.
And they go online, like, we could dip into, something that the producers are giving us is that, like, look at your man Romeo and his father.
Right.
We always seen Master P with his son. We never seen him with that boy. How are they beefing at this point in life?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, like, that goes to show you can give your kid everything you want.
Go back to the beginning, like the rich dad, poor dad.
It's like, exactly. It's like, you want to name a good father figure, but, we would look at Master P as one of the best father figures.
As a role
and then this boy comes out and say, yo, he's a terrible father.
He said he took my royalties from
It's like, wait, it's like what? Like Bow Wow and Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri was always a father figure to Bow Wow. He coming, he's a terrible father figure. It's so crazy. They're spoiled because you spoiled a child. That's what I'm saying. It's about the respect thing.
So let's do this. I mean? Seeing that it's a show about fathers and good fathers, who are some good father figures that you guys have seen? And of course, we can't base everybody's life off social media, but I think Offset and Cardi B, I like the way they, at least by the looks of it, I like what they represent with their kids. They seem to have them around. You know what I'm saying? Is there any other couples or anybody else that you might seen that's like, oh, matter of fact, I know who you gonna pick, man. DJ Khaled out.
We done with his side. I'm just giving you the perspective. You know, the same way, just like I just seen something like look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, the way they keep their kids. Y'all have probably even seen them twins.
No, I ain't seen Jay.
You know what I mean? But we see North a lot, you know what I'm saying? She's real poised and stuff like that.
Right.
The way they raise their kid, they keep them from certain stuff.
That's like Swiss Beats for me. I like how Swiss Beats,
how they raise their kids.
Yeah.
I just seen Lil North did some drawing. She was cutting people's heads off. And, you seen that? That was crazy. But you know, North been up, but it's all about how your parents are raising you. Look how her father is, look how her mother is. Their whole life is dependent on them being in that light.
Right.
So now they're gonna put their kid in that light. And I can tell you right now, North is probably gonna be the most famous kid we ever seen.
Right. But with that being said, though, who when y'all were growing up, who gave y'all better advice? Who you took the better advice from, your mother or your father growing up? For you personally, you guys personally. You can go first, G.
Shit, I can only say my mother.
Yeah. His father went to get the cigarettes.
Class of G-moms, man.
Class of G-moms. His dad went to get the cigarettes, and now we here. He went to get some Marlboros, and now we here, man. Yo, it's a sister of chocolate. Yo, cut, man. Let's get G a water, cameras, tissue, or something.
Big round of applause for Mama Dukes. Big Mama G. Big Mama G.
Big round of applause. You definitely. You know what's funny is if you look at like probably 65-75% of us growing up is probably gonna be our mothers.
Our mothers, yeah.
You were raised your mother. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I gotta big up my stepdad. I gotta big up my pops too, of course, definitely, because he, you know, life. I wouldn't be here. Respectfully, I wouldn't be here, right? But nah.
Bring up the stepdad.
Stepdad. You know, we gotta touch them. Yeah, nah, I got some strong ones out there. Got some good strong ones out there.
Can we bring a real stepdad here though? I'm talking about a stepdad with no kids though, with a different perspective.
Because Titus, the cameraman, what do you think?
What you think? You have stepdad? Are you a stepdad?
Have you ever been a stepdad?
You ever dated a girl with a child?
Put T on the spot right
Titus,
there.
You're a terrible stepdad, Titus. I mean, you get a good stepdad here. We can go back and forth. Okay, because I think one of my sons got one right now, so I want to check his temperature. I might bring his ass in here and say, hey, yo, fam, talk to me. What's up?
Yo, what are some of y'all best memories as a kid? Like one memory in particular that when you was having a rough day in adulthood, you thought back to when you was a kid. I think we all had that moment. Because as they say, life was better when you was a child.
No, it really was, you know. It was. You know, and it goes back to, like, you know, my father was around. He was in and out. He was in jail sometimes. But I have a memory because when I went to high school, I was supposed to try to go to Boys and Girls. My mom said, nah, you're not going to Boys and Girls. You're not going to Boys and Girls. It's a wrap. Don't even think it ain't happening. And I remember I went down to George Westinghouse. I went to Westinghouse, and I didn't know nobody down there. Man, Fort Greene people was down there. So my first day of school, my father actually brung me to school. The first day, that's what I'm saying. My father actually brung me to school my first day. That's probably the first time we even went anywhere.
If y'all was looking for Mel, he here, man.
But when I got there, it's crazy. It was this hood ass dude. He was the head of security in the school. But he was mad hood. My father grew up with him in the hood and all that shit. So he was there. So when I first got there, I'm scared as shit. Big Crip niggas, everybody in there.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? First day, my father knew this motherfucker. He's like, yo, hold my seat. Like, yo, I got you. So, you know, I'm 14 years old. I'm nervous as hell because all my friends is going to Boys and Girls. They're going to all the schools around. And my father, the only time he took me somewhere was the high school. Ended up knowing the security guard, and I was good.
That was a plug.
That was a plug. But you going into the unknown because the unknown is scarier than anything. You know what I mean? But that's one of the memories that I have is my father. If I remember anything else, I remember my father taking me to my first day of high school. I don't think we went anywhere after that.
Wow.
But my first, no, it was 100%. But he took me to my first day of high school, and he had the plug. And I'm in there like, yo, that nigga can't touch me, boy. Got the cops on my side.
You know what's so crazy? I'm going to take that situation and spit over the bonds. My ass was fucking bad. Like, I was in high school. I was good. Starting off in the high. Same shit with my mom, but I begged her. She like, all right, I'm gonna let you go. First year I did everything good. Grade A.
You doing
straight
everything.
A's, everything good. sophomore year, started wilding. You know, just fell in with the in crowd.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Fucked up, slipped up.
Right.
The baddest part about that was she shipped my ass to Jamaica, right? Because you know that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So she packed me up, shipped my ass back. She's like, I'm sending you back to your pops, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, fuck, all right. I get back out there now. I'm like, oh shit, everybody loving me though.
He just came from the States. He just came from the States. What you think? I'm the man.
Nah, but it took for something bad to send me to something that seemed bad because I didn't really want to go. I didn't want to go. Like, fuck out of what I'm doing back there. Like,
I just got here.
Like, I'm not trying to go back there.
Yeah.
I go there 2-3 times a year to visit. I'm not trying to go there to live.
I just go to live. Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a kid, so being there. And, you know, people embracing me and seeing me that I ain't seen in a while. Because when I go see my dad, it's not like when I'm with my mom. We live in the country. My dad, he live in the city.
He live in the city, in the town. Yeah,
so being in the town and then running into people that haven't seen you in a while, family,
like,
that shit was good. It felt great to me. So, like, you know, did some bad shit. Got reprimanded for it. But I wound up in a situation where I kind of, you know, seeing good and was able to embrace good. And because of that, I actually got comfortable staying there. And my mother was like, nah, you got to get your ass back.
Yeah, because it's like comfortable. Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's like something that is good, it turns into something. It's like, it's always like a light at the tunnel, like he said. He went there, came back. It's like, yo, I can stay here. Nah, you can bring your ass back. And now you got a whole different perspective.
Yeah, it's something you needed to humble you, though. You need some humbling. That was a good humbling for me.
That was some good stuff. You know what I realized just now? I really took y'all back, though. Like, I really just love sitting here just
that definitely.
You take it back to the high school days.
Yeah. So, with that being said, man, we winding this thing down like they do on any and every podcast. You know, we got to make the last question, as G would say, spicy.
Spicy.
Got to make the last question one. I'm sure everybody tuned in right now. Peace to everybody tuned in. We appreciate y'all. Words with Fathers, sponsored by Brooklyn Residency, sponsored by 174. Dot 174.
Please say the dot.
174. Succeed with integrity. Now, my last question. Oh, wait, how can I forget? www.brooklynorbus.app.com. Shot by Top.
Big Brooklyn Residency.
Yo, yeah, you know,
big,
not the little one. The big Brooklyn Residency, 346 Malcolm X Boulevard. You know, we do. We got entrepreneurs coming through there. We got a little bit of everything, man. Support black business. Brunch,
dinner,
brunch be
taco,
man.
Yeah, and if you need somewhere to go after all of that, check me out at the G-Spot Butter Breakfast. Don't leave that out, you know. Definitely put up to the G-Spot Butter Breakfast.
G-Spot Butter Breakfast.
So,
100%.
Hey, you see what's on there.
To make it happen, man. So,
these is on the counter?
Yes, sir.
The vegan cannabis gummies.
Yes, sir.
The vegan cannabis gummies.
Y'all been trying to stay here, man. Hey, last question, fellas. I had to bring it back together. Now, this question, G, you gonna go first, and then Mel, you gonna close out. We drawing up the play. We in the huddle. We drawing it up. I'm gonna set the screen. You gonna go around. The last question would be, fellas, would you want a female to date a father like you? G, it's on you.
Most definitely.
The room got so quiet. Why I feel like the air came out the room, man?
Nah, most definitely, because you got to think about yourself. But I would say most definitely, because for myself, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I try to walk with a bit of integrity. I was raised with a bit of, you know, respect, a bit of morale. You know,
the angel numbers is in the building. The angel numbers is in the building.
Not perfect, and I definitely fuck up. I can be an asshole. I am definitely an ignorant, straight to the point, raw son of a, if you want to call it that. Yet, I walk with respect. I walk with understanding. I walk with wisdom. I walk with grace. And in these times, you know, you just character.
That's a fact. Hand clap.
Character.
Keep moving with integrity. Dot 178. Melly's World. They tuned in because they want to know.
They want to know. G Wildin'. G basically told you, listen, this is what's going down. You know, it's 100%. I think most people say that.
People fumbling with words. He was good all game.
I'm just saying, I'm
watch
here.
The foot. Make sure you're not stepping out.
It might be
It might be that drink. I might have popped a vegan cannabis gummy. If the MTA is listening, I'm off the clock.
Look, it's vegan, so it don't count. It's vegan, so it don't count. But don't worry, I'll be working at that Airbnb. If they fire me, I'll be working at that Airbnb, I swear.
Don't worry, man. You can always slang jewelry, man.
Yeah, we definitely can get you jewelry. Shout out to Brooklyn the Bus, man. I've been rocking with my man, before I get into the last, I've been rocking with my man Larry for a minute. I remember whatever he do, I'm with, pulling up on him. He's going to Miami.
Yes.
Call Larry up. I said, yo, Larry, we need some fits. I came to his house, about 5 niggas from Gates Avenue. Larry looking at me like, man, what the fuck you doing?
You know I'm a
I said, yo, we need some outfits,
Brownstone,
man.
nigga. Y'all niggas got me a little nervous.
Yo, my project friend said, you got niggas friends in the Brownstone? I said, well, goddamn. Yeah, and Brownstone was nice, too. And they still got it. Usually they sell that shit.
And you caused beef on my block, too, when you came on the block.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But,
yeah, statute of limitations. Now, but yes, Mel, stop dancing around the question, Mel.
Oh, yeah, let's get this.
The girl, can she date a guy like you? The people want to know.
100%. I'm a catch, right? So you know, when you live in your purpose, right? Like a lot of the times,
my man said living,
and you living in your purpose, right?
High vibration, high vibration,
and then being truthful. Like, you know, back in the days, I did a lot, man. I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned from them. So it's like, if you learn from your mistakes, it makes you a better person, it makes you a better man, right? So you can be truthful, you can be honest with people. The dialogue is open. Like, when you're talking to someone, like, a lot of guys don't get to express themselves in certain situations. But I feel like the more you accomplish, the more leverage you have in conversations with people. So you might feel like, I can't say that.
I like the way you just slipped. That was a smooth way of saying you gotta have.
You gotta have the bag. Yeah. You gotta have the bag. And if anybody got the bag, it's G. All right. So, ladies, if anybody got the bag, it's G. It's not me. So when we talk about integrity means cash, all right? But, 100%, I would definitely want...
It's called the bag brand. That's what he's talking about.
The bag brand. The bag brand. No, 100%, I would definitely tell, females to date me if they wanted to, right? You got a couple friends? But that doesn't mean that nobody on the market. That's a trick. That question is crazy.
Yo, Val.
That question is crazy. Somebody just said, what's happening here? This is crazy.
Make you check yourself.
Yeah, we can check your phone. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, man. So, so I guess it's on me now. Oh, man. Whew. Everybody don't do that. Don't make the room get quiet now.
Get quiet.
Would I want a woman dating a guy, somebody's daughter dating a guy like me? I say, yeah, I'm pretty chill. But I say this. The younger me, no. The more mature me, yes. The younger me, I ain't gonna front. I was a little, I definitely handle some hearts a little.
Yeah, you fumble some hearts.
I fumbled some hearts, couple hearts.
Speak about your character.
Yeah, but that comes from character building.
Character-wise, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna always make sure that I have something to bring to the table. Yeah. That's a fact. That's the best way that I can put it, is that I'm gonna have something to bring to the table, man. And I can't elaborate on that else because we are out of time today. Mel, you are an amazing guest. G, you are an amazing co-host, man. This was episode 1 of Words with Fathers, man. Again, I was a little nervous, man, but you guys definitely made sure that the transition was smooth. Mel, like I said, you definitely went about 8 for 8 from the 3-point line tonight. You definitely the game's MVP. Let me put the camera on the game's MVP.
With the MVP.
Yeah, you definitely was the MVP.
I knew it was going to be a good day. Like I told you, me and G got here early. That'll really happen. It was going to be a good day. Because listen, bro, we usually run late. So,
in all fairness, I got to defend my producer.
Thank you.
She going to get it right.
The producer was late. Larry was on time.
Larry was
This is crazy.
Big show up. Big show up.
The door was crazy. Open. This is monumental. Fellas, I love y'all, man. Closing words before we go.
Yeah.
I just want to add a little extra something towards the ending, man. Just a little advice to a father that might be going through something that he wants somebody, just some positive words. It don't gotta be nothing too crazy because everybody's situation different. Yeah. So just a little quick couple words for motivational purposes only, because a lot of times people say that on social media, but then they use a Rolex to go with it, or they put their Phantom to go with it. Yeah. I just want y'all to give just some words of just positiveness that don't require that type of fuckery.
I would definitely say, being that we're going into a great blessing, a big new year, and for everyone that makes it through this transition in this part, blessed that my feet can still feel concrete, because life is the greatest substance. Without life, it ain't nothing. With life, we have the opportunity to do something. So blessed that we still here.
Definitely. A lot of guys sometimes feel defeated, you know, going up against certain people. People come to me for advice about father things. I've been, you know, my son's 12 years old now. And I tell people, like, the same time, there's no dead end to being a father, because if you're trying, it shows. You know what I mean? Like, if you really, really want to be in your child's life, nobody can stop you from that. You know, sometimes you might think that somebody can, but nobody can stop you from being a good father.
Next week episode, Step.
Let's bring the stepdads through. We want a stepdad that don't got no kids, though, because when you have kids, it changes the perspective, right? We want somebody that don't got no kid and
to pull up.
That's right. You know what I mean?
And
Are you guys gonna have girls on Mother's Day?
Yes, we have some mothers.
We have mothers, I guess. This might be no ma'am though, and we gonna sit her over in the corner.
Yeah, nah, we not like that.
We might zoom. We can zoom a girl in or something like that.
We can have call on Zoom. My advice to any guy out there that might be going through something, man, it's not gonna be. I'm usually like big on words, but I'm learning to keep my words to a minimum. I just say this: keep prayer. That's it. Keep prayer, man. Keep prayer. On that note, you've been tuned in to episode 1 of Words with Fathers. And blessfully, we make it to 2. Peace and love. Shout out Brooklyn Residency. Shout out G-Spot. And if y'all want to promote anything, this is y'all time. But I'm out.
G-Spot, Bud and Breakfast, Up and Go Rentals. And, you know, of course, Brooklyn Residency. We eat there every day, all day.
Every day.
Every day, Monday to Friday,
the breakfast.
Saturday,
ain't no Bud
Sunday.
with it, though.
It's turn up.
So we got Bud and breakfast and breakfast and breakfast. Yeah, we do. I'm talking to the man right now. You know, we definitely put those. We definitely got consumption days, too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Happy New Year to everybody, too, man. Happy New Year. Like G said, we're going to a big year.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. Shout out to, the studio. Everybody. Shout out to S.TREET Media, right? Skol.
And Brooklyn or Bust, app.com. And we out, y'all. One love.
I.74.